welcome to the NNN show, or Nintendo Ninja News, as you know that. And this is a pretty big episode in terms of what my plans are for next year. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, I guess, in some sort of detail in another point. But the big news is the Canberra Nintendo Ninja Club. Now, you might be wondering what this is all about for international viewers and people like that. But it is a local Nintendo group for Nintendo fans to come together. Currently, it's going to be set at monthly at different locations to play your Nintendo Switch games, older consoles, and just generally doing Nintendo-themed stuff. So it's sort of been something that I've thought about over the last year or two. And there's been a lot of people going, oh, well, Chris, you run a YouTube channel in Canberra. Why don't you make your own local group? And I know that there's another local group in Canberra, but I think what I want to do is create a more successful model. Something that's going to bring in people, something that is flexible and that can change its sort of mold, like Nintendo themselves, reinvent itself over time, and sort of staying the same over and over. And I think that's one of the problems that I see in other groups and street pass groups and things like that I've seen, countrywide, and even from a international sort of level has been an issue with them. So some of the stuff that we are planning, there's myself and a couple others that seem to be pretty keen and interested. So the monthly meetups for Switch or 3DS users, for those who are still using it, it is still selling, it's still making money for Nintendo, so it's still going to be sold for the next couple years, I believe. There is also a new Facebook group that will be launched after this video is revealed. It will have the events, obviously, for these places here in Canberra. It will also have photos and polls and live videos, probably, the old Nintendo discussion stuff that I have online, or it will be streaming. You'll get a link for me, come see me on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, playing some games, and people can play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe against me, or ARMS or Splatoon or Fortnite or anything that people are interested in. And you'll have the secondary sort of events that will maybe fill in the space of a month, such as Pokemon Go. We can go out and do that. We can do midnight releases if people are interested in that sort of thing. There'll be a new Pokemon game this time next year for Generation 8. We also have Pokemon trading cards, which is another possibility. I'm not huge into the Pokemon trading cards, but I know some people here and there who are into that sort of thing. So that's also a possibility. And retro meetups, gather some old retro consoles together and do that. And there's also possibilities of doing swap and meetups if people want to trade games to each other, or buy and sell games. That might be another possibility down the long track. And that's just some of the things that this group will be trying to achieve. Now, Nintendo Ninja News' Facebook page will be sort of like the parent of the group. So if people are at the group and they're mingling with the Canberra Nintendo fans, the page is there as a link to all your latest Nintendo news and things like that. So it's sort of a one-stop shop for that. And we'll share some videos from time to time. Any big news things that are happening, we'll whack it on the group and get some discussions rolling and things like that. So that's something that we'll also be doing as well. And you might see one or two things from Chris Tice's creativity, because, video games and my creative side tend to mix from time to time. But you'll see that stuff on, my own profile page or somewhere else. So we have a couple locations. We won't reveal them yet, that I think that we've pretty much nailed down pretty successfully that we'll do, and we'll try to expand the different locations in Canberra. So every few months you have a place that's nearby for you to go to. You might have to do a little bit of a travel, which is okay. I think I've just sort of set myself up for some long travels, to be honest. which is going to be interesting. But it's going to be fun to sort of mingle in with Nintendo fans and try to bring things together in terms of getting this thing coming together. I think I'm pretty positive about how this can go. Now, the other things are the YouTube channel will obviously be promoting the group, and I guess we'll be doing some video related stuff at the meetups too when the time is right and when things are happening. We might, do a little collaboration with other gamers or people who want to maybe even stream on my channel, or do some collaborations just playing together online and things like that. So we'll have, real world meetups and online stuff happening at the same thing too. So, you have these different locations and businesses. You have the YouTube channel, you have the Facebook page, which just got 900 people already liking it. And you also have all these different events and that will keep things exciting and keep things sort of new and fresh instead of it being stale and sort of doing the same thing each month and that. So we're trying to do different things here and there. So, and we also wanted to be a community base. We wanted to be flexible in a safe and open space environment. I want to make sure that that's like that from day one. We don't want anyone, any deals of harassment and things like that. You want to make sure that you go to meetups and you feel safe and secure, and you don't have to worry about all that sort of stuff. Because I've heard cases from, different groups, mostly a bit overseas and that too. So talking to international Nintendo fans, and gaming culture doesn't get the best of raps, and hopefully we can bring the positive vibes to this one. So that's a lot of information for people to digest at the moment. Now, people are probably wondering, alright, so we've got the Facebook group and we're still sort of building up on the members and that. When's this first meetup and where it is and what date and all that sort of thing. So we're trying to do it in the new year, sort of January to February. So we're trying to give ourselves a bit of time. Also too, that it's Christmas period, so things are going to be very busy. Children will be off on holidays and parents will be busy too for younger people. There will also be people will be going interstate too at this time, so it's not really a great time. So I think January is a good time, or February, depending on how the numbers are and how things are, in terms of having that first monthly meetup and see how that goes and all that sort of stuff too. But also too, that we also want your feedback. We want to make sure that we add your feedback into the mixing bowl, and making sure that we create the club, the Ninja Club, the Canberra Nintendo Ninja Club that you want, in terms of what things you want to see at the meetups. If you want more Pokemon Go stuff, you want more multiplayer games of certain games, or you want to do more retro stuff here and there, or you want to do swap and meets where you're exchanging amiibos or plushies or rare things, or even books and guides and things like that. We're sort of trying to expand what can be possibly done in a sort of club group environment. So Canberra's a small place and a lot of people know each other, so that's one advantage, and it's going to be interesting to see what this all comes out to be. But I'm fairly excited about it. I guess there's the fear of the unknown, how this will all turn out. But I think that the channel's been doing pretty well this year, with me not being so heavy-handed on it, doing lots of videos and that. And next year's going to be exciting too. We might see Metroid Prime 4. We know that Animal Crossing is coming. That's going to be big. Pokemon Generation 8. There'll be a new Mario 2D game coming out of the blocks in the new year. And you'll have Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, Splatoon and Fortnite and Rocket League. All these great multiplayer games that are already on the Switch. And we've got the Nintendo 3DS. And you never know, we might see some retro consoles just magically appear at certain meetups and places and that. So that's going to be a really interesting thing too. So hopefully people will support this idea for the locals. And for those who are watching overseas and wondering, well, geez, I wish to have a local Nintendo group. How can I How can I help Nintendo engineers? Well, that's simple. Just, sharing it to different friends and that. You can even join the group if you like. But do remember, it does have a local flavour to this group. And you can help out in terms of, gaming advice and things like that. And just sharing in the love of Nintendo, I suppose. So, I've spoken long enough. I've just gone over the 10-minute mark, and I'm waving my hands way too much like the 11th Doctor. So, I will bring this to a close, and do type in the comments and like and share all that, and smash the like button, as they always say. But that will be it for me, and let me know what you think, and I will be very, very busy building up this group in the next couple months.